I have been a social media manager since 2009. I have been a part of the rise and fall of countless platforms, watching this ever-changing landscape glow up and struggle a lot. Over the years, how things are done, what matters to consumers, and what businesses need to do to be relevant has changed a lot. And I have worked with hundreds, if not thousands of businesses with education, content creation, keeping up with trends, and lots of tutorials. So we can say with confidence, I know what a social media manager does. And it most definitely is not scrolling social media all day. Seriously, it's like a very small fraction of what we do in a day. Let me share with you what a social media manager does, and as a bonus, I will share with you some pointers for what you should be looking for in a social media manager. Take action now. Hi, my name is Desiree. If you're looking to grow your business with better social media and content marketing, take action now. Hit that subscribe button and the bell below. Now at the gate, you want to make sure your social media manager has a plan for your content. A content plan, in case you don't know, is a roadmap to what to post, when, and what objective for your online marketing and your social media. To make sure that you know what you're doing for your content plan, I have a free planning worksheet that you can grab down in the description below. Now, when I'm talking with people, one of the first things that people always want to ask me is like, what's my education? Do I have formal training as a social media manager? And the long and short of it is for me specifically, the answer is no. I actually have my bachelor's degree in multimedia art and animation. My goal in life as a child was to be an animator, and due to the recession and just circumstance, this is what I get to do now, and I absolutely freaking love it. So you don't actually have to have an education in social media, but where you do need to have is experience. So if you're looking for a social media manager, ask yourself, what does this person know? What is their experience? I'm a firm believer that a college education is great. However, it is not the full measuring tape for what you want to do. Now, I have talked with a lot of colleges and looked at a lot of programs and syllabuses, and I can say with full honesty that the vast majority of colleges do not have a good social media plan, course, objective when it comes to education. A lot of marketing degrees are very generalized. And so it's kind of hard to know what social media is, especially because it's always changing. If you make a textbook about social media, like quite literally the next semester, it'd be totally out of date. Ask yourself, what is the experience that somebody has? Social media managers are looking for experience, like how are they with posting? What is the kind of content they're creating? What does their portfolio look like? What results have they had for other businesses? So when it comes to being a social media manager, I don't think a formal education matters, but experience does. Now there's a lot of platforms out there, and there's always the big ones like Facebook and Instagram, but there's also things like TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn. And so your social media manager needs to have a working understanding about these platforms so they can, with confidence, give you an objective of which ones you should be spending your time on. It's also important for you to know about these different platforms because you might be missing out on a very big opportunity, because maybe while you're spending all this time on Facebook, suddenly like you're like, why am I not using TikTok? TikTok is this amazing place for you to blow up, and you make one video and poof, completely changes everything. So make sure that you're continuing to know what the knowledge is around these different platforms. That's what your social media manager is going to do. They're going to be keeping up with what's happening. They're going to be keeping up with trends, changes, algorithm needs, and what the overall feel and scope is of the demographics on these platforms. So they can come to you and give you the confidence of like, hey, these are the places you should be, and here's how this would fit into our content plan. So that's what you want when it comes to figuring out what platforms to be on. Now, yes, I did say that scrolling social media is not what we do all day, but it is an important part. Consuming social media is a great way for us to collect and create ideas. We're essentially studying what is happening on social media so we can see what is trending, what sort of things are popular, what is the look and feel of things, what colors, fonts, flows, algorithms, pacing, content types are working really well on social. At the time of this recording, what's really popular is short form vertical video. So these are gonna be things like using Reels and TikTok to kind of get your message across. And then we also have things like YouTube, which is where I spend a lot of my time, where we're going to have long form content that solves problems for our users. We're studying what is happening in the industry and we're consuming. And then as a bonus for you, if you're looking to hire a social media manager, what they're going to want to do is create lists and idea boards. So it's important to know like what it is that they're paying attention to and how they want to apply it to what they have planned for you. So ask your social media managers, like, what ideas do you have? Based on the current trend of what's happening on these social media platforms, what do you think are some ideas and things that we can be doing? And ask to see like an inspiration board or a list of ideas. So part of consuming also is tracking trends. Like what is and isn't popular right now? What is happening in the landscape of social media? And that's why it's important for them to know, because they're going to want taking these trends and adapting them to different businesses that they're working with, or even your business itself. They're always changing, but usually they revolve around like a theme, a message, a hashtag, a sound bite, whether it's a song or like an audio track. By being able to track things that are popular and jumping on them quickly, it's going to allow for you to stay relevant and trendy and sort of associate with those appropriate places so that you can kind of be found. So like if someone is listening to a lot of like this trend and you show up, then you're more likely to get that follower and convert that into business. Now, with your content planning worksheet, it's important to make sure that all the stuff we talked about before, consumption, platform, trends, all that is being organized into a content plan. Now, content plan is going to be a place for you to organize everything that you need. You can dump out your ideas, look at what worked last year, look at what's trending now, look what the competitors are doing, what holidays are coming up, what seasonal things are going on in your industry that need to be accounted for. These are all things that you put into a content plan, and then you tie your objectives to it. Then you know, okay, this is the content I need to make. This is the messaging theme that we're going for. These are how many content pieces I need to make. And here are also these other supporting online marketing things I need to do, like maybe blogging or email marketing or SEO. By having it all mapped out in a content plan, it allows for the social media manager to then take the next step, which is creating content. Now, we're actually creating content. This is where the actual meat, the stuff that represents the brand is going to happen. And this is really divided up into different parts. The first part is graphics. So graphics are going to be anything that are like pictures, photos, maybe even GIFs, carousel posts, which are like where you can scroll and see a lot of stuff, an album, which is something on Facebook where you have like all these pictures that are up. It's creating these graphics and these visuals that can be put up on social media and being able to use those as sort of like the attention grabbing piece in the newsfeed. And then it's supported by the message. The other form of media that you can create is going to be in video form. So it's gonna be long form videos like what you see here where it's edited and put together, or maybe even a live stream, which is really long form of video content. And usually it's in this sort of horizontal view. The other video form is that vertical form where they're taking up the whole phone. It's really made for the phone for consumption, and then again, supported by the appropriate message. But the thing about video is that the video is kind of where the attention needs to be. The message is very secondary. Where with a graphic or a photo, the message really supports it and they work hand in hand. And then our other form of media that we're going to be creating is actually just our messaging, like our words that go into our posts. A lot of different platforms have different opportunities available. Like there's polls in LinkedIn, or maybe you want to like create a check-in on Facebook or Instagram. So you have these different like native options of the platforms, but it's another form of creating content and using the platform to your advantage. As a tip for you when looking for a social media manager, kind of see what are the kind of content they have made. What graphics have they put together? What are the videos that they have made? What do those look like? And if they're not strong in these things, but maybe these other pieces support it, ask them, how would you create these content pieces? What would a team look like that could help support you in this way? What could our team do in the office to help with it and like really work through those details? Now, there's no point in really having social media if you're not going to actually make a post, which is why scheduling and planning is so important. We've talked about a lot of different things, and we're really working through the process of like how social media posts come to exist. So we've talked about consumption, we've talked about planning, we've talked about creating. Now we need to make them actually work. And this is where, again, knowledge of platform is really important, because not only do you need to know like the right demographic and situation for the platform, but you also need to know like what are the quirks of that platform that tailor what the message is, tailor what the graphic is, tailor what the specs are on a video, so that it can have the best chance for performing well. Every platform is really popular with hashtags, but each platform uses them differently and prioritizes them differently. Every platform allows for video. Every platform has different formatting, different options, different lengths that you can or can't use. So you really need to know that part, and then you want to schedule it out. No social media manager worth their weight in gold is going to be posting on the daily, on the fly. They have a plan of what they want to be doing. They can kind of tell you like over this week, over these 2 weeks, or over this month, this is what the schedule is based on these holidays and these trends and these activities that are happening. We're going to create that content ahead, and then we're going to schedule it out. The only limitation, again, this is at the time of this recording, that we run into is with TikToks and Reels, where you have to make them ahead of time, but you have to manually post them in order for them to go up. And that's when like using a Google Calendar reminder, or even just a regular calendar reminder, would be really helpful for you as making sure that content is getting up. Now, one of the things that we social media managers like to throw around a lot is this word engagement. So what exactly is engagement? Engagement is how we measure and know if our content is actually reaching people and they're communicating with it. A great way to know if like engagement is on this video is like, what are the comments happening? What are the like situation on here? How many people are sharing it? Did I get put into my email and then they came over and then they commented? That's engagement. And then as the social media manager, it's my job to facilitate the engagement. So if someone comments, it's my job as social media manager to comment back. If someone asks a question, it's my job to make sure that answer to that question gets done. If someone asks for a follow-up or a question or referral, it's my job to make sure that that happens. So engagement isn't just something that the consumer does. Engagement is something that we as social media managers do. Another thing that we do in engagement is that we find conversations to be a part of as the brand. So that's when we're acting like a consumer and we're going to content and we're looking at things that we like that are relevant to our personal interests and commenting, liking, sharing. Well, then we do that as a business. So based on the audience and the area and the demographics that they're trying to reach, it's engaging with those individuals on social media as the brand to get them interested in our brand, to follow us on social, and then take action in other ways. And social media is really pointless if we don't know if it's working or not, which is why you need to make sure that your social media manager is providing you with reporting. Reporting allows for you to measure what results are happening. This is going to be not just in sales and conversions and website visits, which are easy, sort of common measurement sticks, but also like, what was our engagement like? What was our reach like? How many people have watched our content and viewed our content? How many more followers did we get? How many people unfollowed us? These are the measurements that we're kind of looking on to see like if this content is good or not. Usually the closer the numbers are together, the better it's going to be. So like if I have good engagement, my followers should also go up. If I am posting something bad and I'm not getting a lot of views or engagement, it's probably not a good content piece. I need to look, maybe the time of day I need to post is different, or the kind of content with the similar message needs to be changed. So being able to study reporting and seeing what isn't working is a vital part to having and being a successful social media manager. And as a business owner, any social media manager that you work with really needs to provide you with reporting so that you can know how it's going and if it's working. Now, being a social media manager isn't something that we can just like do and magically pull out of our hat. So I want you to watch this video here where I break down for you some of my favorite tools that you should be using as a social media manager so that you can have success with the platforms and creating great content. And watch this video right here because YouTube thinks you are really going to like it. Until next time, see you soon.